Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please give me a little feedback on the chat if you can hear and see me all right. I hope everything is working. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late. I kind of forgot that there was a 5-minute countdown involved and I didn't know how to change the time on the countdown. So by the time I started it, I realized I couldn't exactly make it go faster or slower anymore. So I do apologize. I know I am a few minutes late to the party. However, we're here. So I hope that you are all ready for a little Hobbii live quiz time with me today. For those of you who haven't met me before, it's very nice to see you all. I see the YouTube chat and I see the Facebook chat, and Mika is saying that she can hear and see me just perfect. Excellent. That's how it should be. Thank you so much for being here. Matthias is still on holiday, so we're a little bit yeah, it's a little bit different today because it's me doing it and I'm not usually doing quiz time. There are a lot of moving parts. It's really fun though. And so, you know, bear with me if some things don't look as fancy as they usually do when it's Matthias. He is the expert. He is the ultimate, you know, quiz time master here after all. Alrighty, in case any of you are completely new, in case anyone does not really know what quiz time is at all, do not worry, I will explain. So today we're going to play 3 rounds of quizzes. 2 of them are trivia quizzes with multiple choice answers, and 1 of them is a number guessing game, where I'm just going to ask you to guess a number, and you have to guess that number. And some of the questions are really tough, some of them are impossible to know, a lot of them are just, you know, all over the place. A lot of them are inspired by Hobbii yarns today, and I think it's going to be a really fun time. It's usually around 45 minutes, so if you are currently on a little break or something, perfect time to come hang with us. On each of the 3 quizzes, you can win a gift card worth $25 or the equivalent in your currency. And at the very end, as a little thank you to all of you for being with us, we will have an additional giveaway where all you have to do is participate. So you don't have to actually guess anything. We will pick one random winner. So that way everyone gets the same chance at winning a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in your currency. How exactly it works with the quiz, I am going to explain. I do in fact have a warm-up quiz for you, and if I click here, you should now see the warm-up quiz happening above me. Yes, you should, and I will just pop this camera a little bit lower so you can still see me and you can see the quiz above me. It's just going to be 1 question. So it's just 1 simple question that I need you to answer for me. And it is a very simple concept. Each answer has a number associated with it, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Some questions only have 2 answers, then it's 1 or 2. And in order to answer, all you have to do is comment on the chat which number you think corresponds to the correct answer. So this first question, you have a minute to answer, is which Hobbii live stream is your favorite? And there is a correct answer here. Is it 1 quiz time, 2 live shopping, 3 bingo, 4 anything that has Louisa in it? There is an objective correct answer here. Whether that is the answer that you want to give, who knows? But there is one. There's an objective truth to this. So please indicate in the chat by typing 1, 2, 3, or 4 which number you think is the right answer to this warm-up question. This is the warm-up quiz, so you will not actually win a prize for answering correctly, but I just want you to understand the game mechanics before we move on to the actual quizzes where you can win something. So let me know in the chat, 1, 2, 3, or 4, which Hobbii live stream is your favorite? Is it 1 quiz time? Is it 2 live shopping? Is it 3 bingo? Or is it 4 anything that has Louisa in it, no matter the content? I can see a lot of 4s. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so nice of you. Thank you. Is it the correct answer though? We'll see. Is it? Is it? Is it? It is computing, and yes, of course. Thank you very much. No, just kidding. I know you love Matt, and you love Jaya, and you love all of our other fantastic hosts just as much. That was just a little joke to show you how it works. Good to know if you do change your mind halfway through. So if you click one and then realize, oh, wait, no, it should have been the other one. Unfortunately, your first answer is the one that will get counted. So your first answer is going to count towards that, meaning that you will then, not get the point. In this particular one, we can see that Jacqueline Lee is our leader. However, Jacqueline, as I said, you're not winning anything. It's just a little bit of fun right now. So I'm gonna close this down and hop on over here. But that is how the mechanics of the game work. For the numbers guessing game, which we're going to have in the middle, I will give you a brief intro into that, but there it's even simpler. You literally just type the number that you think it is. But the first quiz that I have for you today is, in fact, a trivia where there will be multiple choices for answers, and the entire quiz will be inspired by one particular craft. So are you ready to get started? We're now going to play for a gift card with $25 or equivalent. And I'm going to just hit it. And we're going to go ahead. And it's not showing up. Why are you not showing up? Oh, there we are. Perfect. So the game is starting. It had to start over. I think there was something loading, but you have 20 seconds to get yourself in the right space of mind. We are actually going to be doing this quiz about a product that I showed briefly earlier this week, and it is our new macrame kit. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to look a little bit closer at all things macrame in order to celebrate this kit being released? So all of our questions are going to be about this topic, starting with the first one, which is, what is the most likely etymological origin of the word macrame? Is it 1 Latin, 2 Greek, 3 Chinese, or 4 Arabic? So you will now respond 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on what you think the correct answer is. What is the most likely etymological origin of the word macrame? So where does the word macrame most likely come from? Where does it originate? Is that 1 Latin, 2 Greek, 3 Chinese, or 4 Arabic? And while you're wondering, I can show you a little bit of what macrame looks like and what you could be making, because we have this super cute little keychain set that comes with the different yarns that you can use. With 3 different yarns that you can use to make cute little keychains. So you get 3 different macrame yarns, you get the hooks, attachments, and you get some wooden beads to work with. Macrame is a really cool technique where you essentially use little knots to create textiles, to create usually ornaments, but it can be used in clothing, it can be used in all sorts of different decorative styles for textiles. But where does the word originally come from? And there is a little bit of a debate about it. Well, it's not a debate, it's more like there is no fully proven track, but the most likely origin is Arabic, from the word mikrama, which is a type of embroidery where the ends of your embroidered pieces are then knotted into little tassels in order to make sure that they don't fall apart. And there's also the Andalusian Arabic word macramia, which is describing a specific type of cloth or different cloths that have these knots and tassels on them. So the most likely origin is Arabic. The next question is also about the history of macrame. The earliest depictions of what is believed to be macrame have been dated to which time roughly? Is that 850 BC, that is before Common Era or before Christ? Is it the 1950s? Is it the 1500s? Or is it roughly 1000 AD, so 1000 in the Common Era, I guess? What is the earliest depictions that have been found that are thought to show macrame? Is that 850 BC? Is that the 1950s? Is that the 1500s? Or is that 1000 AD? So roughly where and when can we see macrame first depicted in art, in artifacts, in other things that survive time and that we can use to historically try and date crafts or other things, really? And this one is very interesting, and it is a very, very, very old form of working with textiles, because the earliest depictions of what are believed to be macrame techniques actually are dated all the way back to Babylonian and Assyrian carvings and statues. There are carvings showing tablecloths or other textiles that have these knots and tassels as decorative items, as well as statues where they are shown on clothing. So there are artifacts that do show what looks like macrame techniques that are dated all the way back to 850 BC, so to the Babylonian and Assyrian time. Super fascinating, super, super long time ago, but also kind of logical that this would be a very old art form or craft form, because you don't need any particular tools. You just need a thread that you're then knotting with. The next question is also historical. Is this true or false? Macrame was extremely popular in Victorian England. Is that a true statement, in which case please answer 1, or is that a false statement, in which case please answer 2? Was macrame very popular in Victorian England? 1 or 2, true or false? Another interesting tidbit about the history of macrame and where and when it may have been popular. For me, I first heard about macrame because my sister got really into it a few years ago. I want to say like maybe 6 or 7 years ago. So I have quite a lot of really cute little plant hangers that she made for me, and she made some decorations, some sort of wall hangings, which I think is what a lot of people associate with macrame. And the question is, was macrame quite popular in Victorian times? And I actually have something that I quickly wanted to show you, because I will just go ahead and tell you that the answer is yes, true. It was quite popular. It made its way to England and then became quite popular for young women and others to craft. And there are actually quite a lot of books from that time, or that it's one of the times where you can find macrame instructions. And this one is Sylvia's Book of Macrame Lace, which was released in the 1880s. And one thing I love about it is, one, it just has ads. So just look at these ads. Always young, always fair, Beetham's glycerin and cucumber. But it is actually a little book of instructions that shows you how to do macrames. I have to scroll pretty quickly because the next question is coming up. The next question is also about England, because macrame was popular in Victorian times, but when was it first popularized in the English court, or by which monarch? Was it Mary II? Was it Charlotte? Was it Elizabeth I? Or Queen Anne? Which queen popularized macrame at the English court? Was it Queen Mary II, Queen Charlotte, Queen Elizabeth I, or Queen Anne? And if you go a little bit further, I'm now going to show you, this is obviously from the 1800s, so this is late Victorian or Victorian book. But you can see all these instructions for macrame, which I just think is so cool to, first of all, have these books still around. I mean, 1800s isn't that long ago, but still to have it still around. By the way, I'm pulling this up. This is the online archive of the Smithsonian Library, but they... There's a few other library archives where you can look at these old books. And it's so cool. Like, if I scrolled through the patterns a lot today, and there were a lot of really cool ones. But which monarch was it that brought macrame to the English court originally? We know it was popular during Queen Victoria's time, but how long had it been in England before that? And the answer may be a little bit surprising, I suppose. I don't know. And it was Queen Mary II who was most likely introduced to it. So Queen Mary II was married to William of Orange, who was the Dutch, what's it called when you're in line for the throne? And they married and ruled England together, with him going on a lot of campaigns and her actually having quite a lot of power in her own right. And she apparently was introduced to it at the Dutch court, where it had traveled up through seafaring and being quite popular amongst sailors. And then she brought it to England, introduced it at court, and she and her ladies would quite often do macrame, which I found super fascinating. And now we're back to our little macrame kit that is now on the website. So if you now want to be like Queen Mary II, or if you are already into macrame and maybe want to get someone else excited about it, you can get this little kit. And we do have a pattern for these keychains. Which city is this pattern named after? So is it named after 1, Venice, 2, San Francisco, 3, Madrid, or 4, Lisbon? Which city is this pattern set named after that you can now find on our website and make if you want with other macrame yarns or with the little kit that we have. Is it 1 Venice, 2 San Francisco, 3 Madrid, or 4 Lisbon? This kit now available. Which city is the pattern named after that you can make using this kit? And we are now calculating your answers. I'm closing some tabs because I don't need Sylvia's book of macrame lace open anymore because I have already shown it to you. And the answer is Lisbon. The pattern is called Lisboa, which is the Portuguese and international name for Lisbon. And you can find it on our webpage now. It is free. You can find it for free on our website. So I can pull it up real quick and then show you. So this is where you find it on the webpage. It's the Lisboa key hanger pattern. It is easily adjustable in different ways. However you want it to look, you can adjust it to your liking and make yourself a cute little keychain. And we have our first winner. It is Cozy AF Crafts on YouTube, I assume. Could also be on Facebook, of course, but Cozy AF Crafts, congratulations. I'm quickly gonna note down your name because I need to know who won so I can make sure to send you your $25 prize. Cozy AF Crafts, congratulations. Please, in order to get your prize from us, I'm gonna ask you to send us an email to this email address, Cozy AF Crafts. Please send us an email to this email address, which is live@hobbii.com. If you've already won a gift card this week, so if you won on live shopping, for instance, and you're still waiting to hear back about your prize, I'm really sorry. I will go through the inbox later today or tomorrow morning. So Cozy AF Crafts, please send us an email to live@hobbii.com. And everyone who's still waiting for an answer, I apologize for it being a little bit longer, but I will get to it. I can see loads of congrats in the chat. Congrats to all of you for being here and for guessing so well. Debbie is saying so many good guessers, and Linda is saying, blimey, I got on the board. Woo woo! Congrats to you all, and well done. This is our first quiz. The next one is going to be, I believe, the toughest, because the next one is going to be the numbers guessing game. And I already saw people saying, like, please don't make it about space this time. And I can assure you I did not. It's not about space this time. I stayed far away from space. Cecilia saying, hello, am I too late? No, you're not. Well, we've just done one quiz, but there's 2 more coming plus the giveaway at the end. So you still are in it to win it with a chance starting now. I'll say let's just move straight into the next quiz. As I said, this next one is our number guessing game. So it is a little bit of a tougher one because I am now going to ask you questions where you need to respond by typing the number that you think it is in the chat. Don't put any period or comma, don't put any measurement. So if I'm asking for kilometers, don't put the km, just put the number in the chat to log in your answer. Lisa's asking if there's just one winner or one for every question. There's one winner per quiz. So the first 5 questions were one winner, which was Cozy AF Crafts. And this quiz is going to be 5 questions and is also going to have one winner. This first question is roughly how many tessutos stacked on top of each other equal in height to 1 Louisa? This would be super easy if you knew how tall 1 tessuto is and if you knew how tall 1 Louisa is. But I made it tricky because I like messing with people. I enjoy just, you know, having a little fun with it. So the question is, roughly how many tessutos to 1 Louisa? I'm going to hold 1 tessuto up next to my head so you get a good idea of maybe how many of them you're going to need. So roughly how many of these to 1 Louisa? And I will tell you that I did 2 things. 1, I measured it and then calculated based on that. And then I thought, that's not scientific enough. So then I stacked them and looked at it again. And I almost exactly come up to this number. So it's an almost exact. I am about 2 centimeters off. So for reference, I am 170, 75, 76 on a good day. And 1 tessuto is a little over 13 centimeters. So it is almost exactly 13 tessuto that you need stacked on top of each other to reach my height. And because I didn't trust just my calculation, I did actually stack 13, and the tower ended up being just about at my hairline. But then I realized I am wearing shoes, so if I take off the shoes, I am likely almost exactly 13 tessuto tall. So now you know. Now you know how many of these. I chose this because it's a very stackable yarn. 13 of these roughly make up one Louisa. The next question is about a yarn that we've just welcomed back to the Hobbii family. Well, welcome to the Hobbii family, because this is now a Hobbii yarn. Catania, which is a beautiful mercerized cotton, is now a Hobbii brand. And the question is, how many colors of Catania do we have available? How many different colors of this beautiful mercerized cotton do we have? So it's a mercerized cotton, gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. You get 125 meters or 137 yards on one of these. And it is, if you've grown up in Germany, it is the yarn that is synonymous with cotton yarn. If you've grown up in Germany, if you've grown up with a grandmother in Germany who crafts, the chances are if your grandmother in Germany thinks cotton, she thinks Catania. And Catania is now an official Hobbii yarn. So it is now part officially of the Hobbii brand. And the question is, how many different colors of this do we have? It's a lot. I can tell you that much. It's a lot of colors. It is a very big color palette, perfect for all your crafting needs. It's called Catania, like the city. And the answer is 92. So it comes in 92 different colors. I will super quickly pop it up on the screen so you can see. So this is the yarn. This is Catania, which is the ultimate German cotton yarn that every German crafter or every German grandmother crafts with. And it was big news when we were told that it was going to become a Hobbii yarn. And it was very funny because they told us, and it was only the Germans that got excited about it. Everyone else was like, oh yeah, cool, new yarn. Catania is originally a Schachenmeier yarn. So Schachenmeier is the name of that brand. And the question is, when was that founded? It is a traditional German yarn brand, but what year was it founded? So to answer, just type in whichever year you think it is, the full year. So if you think it was 1930, type 1930. If you think it was 2004, type 2004. Don't just type 04. So which year was Schachenmeier founded, the company that originally made Catania and in many ways is synonymous with yarn in Germany? So which year was it founded? And as of 2025, it is now a Hobbii brand. For reference, Schachenmeier not only makes Catania, they also create beautiful sock yarns like this one. I actually have a swatch for it as well. So this is a lovely 4-ply wool sock yarn that we have now. And all of these are now part of the Hobbii family. So Hobbii now actually owns those products and those brands, which is super incredible because it means that Hobbii now continues an incredibly long legacy. And the question is, of course, how long is that legacy? How long? Since when does that legacy exist? And the answer is 1822. It is a more than 200-year-old yarn brand. Schachenmeier was founded more than 200 years ago, 1822. So it has been around for an incredibly long time. And actually, it even says it on the packaging. It says since 1822 on every single one, the packaging. So this is the brand, and then it now belongs to Hobbii, which, yeah, like I said, for the Germans who work here was incredible news. It was truly mind-blowing. And this final, I will have one final question about it, because along with Schachenmeier, Hobbii acquired a second massively iconic German brand, which is Regia, which is a sock yarn. And how many different types of that sock yarn does Hobbii currently offer? So I'm talking types. So I'm not talking about like how many colors in total, just how many different types of Regia sock yarn do we currently offer? And it is another part of the sort of Schachenmeier German iconic family of yarns. Regia kind of falls into that same level of just famous. So how many different types of Regia sock yarn does Hobbii offer? I can see that it took quite a while to calculate, but I can see, as you can see, if you already answered and you didn't see yourself pop up, it did calculate the answers. It just took a little while, so the graphic is a little bit laggy today, it feels like. How many Regia yarns do we currently offer? And I have 3 of them here because I wanted to show them to you. Because if you're into sock yarns, I'm not gonna, you know, not to speak ill of us. I would never do that. However, I would say that in terms of sock yarns and sock brands, Hobbii has been a little bit maybe lacking in the past. It is definitely somewhere where, considering how popular of a craft socks are, considering that, it is kind of like you would want a lot of sock yarns out there. And so far, there hadn't been that many, but now we do have 6 new additions, which are all the Regia yarns, and they come in such amazing yarn qualities as a merino yuck blend. This is still a sock yarn, so you can now make super, or a cashmere blend. Or, of course, just a regular 4-ply, super lovely wool sock yarn. So it's different. It's 6 different types of Regia sock wool that Hobbii now carries, and especially the Regia Premium. So these ones are absolutely incredible. And this last question is the one that everyone's been afraid of. It's the one where Louisa went a little bit off the hook with her questions. How many megaball skeins would it take if you wanted to equal the weight of the heaviest building in the world? So if you took the heaviest building in the world and you wanted to match that weight in megaballs, how many megaballs would that take? For those of you who don't know megaballs are quite big. They are about this big. So they do carry quite a bit of weight. They are an acrylic yarn, so it's not super heavy, of course. But, you know, still big, chunky boys. But how many of these to match the weight of the heaviest building in the world? So the heaviest building in the world, how many megaballs to get it? And I love that I'm seeing so many answers in the chat, and my honest reaction is I don't even know how to read those numbers. And in fact, I can already tell you, I also wouldn't have known how to read the answer to this because I really, I had to calculate. Mika saying my answer was so random. I just added a random number of zeros. I can tell you, Mika, that that is the way to go. A very fun fact about this is that the answer field for this game allows you to put 12 characters, and the answer I had to put in is 11 characters, because the heaviest building in the world is the Palace of the Parliament in Bucharest in Romania. So it looks like this. This is the heaviest building in the world. It is a massive parliament building, a massive palace, and it weighs a lot. It weighs, hang on, I wrote down the number. I have to look up the number real quick. It weighs 4 million tons. And that means that in order to match it with 400 gram megaballs, you are going to require 10.25 billion megaballs. So you could give every person in the world almost 2 megaballs. So that is how the game works. And that is our final result for this round. And we have our next winner. And it is Kristen Spielman, I assume. It'd be fun if I could click it and actually see your full name. I'm going to go on a limb here and assume that it is Spielman. If it is not, I apologize, Kristen. However, you can let me know if I'm wrong because, there we are, I need to note down your name. Dear Kristen, congrats. You were an excellent, excellent guesser. I wonder how close you actually got to the number of megaballs you would need. And we're now on the debrief. That means I go to this camera. And dear Kristen, please send me an email to live@hobbii.com. There it is. live@hobbii.com in order to get your gift card worth $25 for the guessing game. Congrats, Kristen. That was some serious... Oh yeah, she's in the chat. Kristen Spielman or Spielman saying that I was correct in guessing. Perfect. I love being correct. That's why I love Quiztime. Kristen, please send me an email to live@hobbii.com so that I can send you your gift card. And amazing job, everyone. Thank you so much for guessing along here. I know it was impossible. A lot of people were saying that that Facebook thought you were entering a phone number into the chat. It is quite a long number. It is 10.25 billion. So it is an absolute massive number. So it was 11 characters long, which I now know is one below what this field even allows. So I could go all the way up to 100 billion. And that is the highest number you would be able to guess. So that's good to know for the future. So if I ever ask you a question like this again, you know that the answer, the highest possible answer I could put in here is 999,999,999,999. So now we know that as well. But yeah, super interesting. I found out about this because one of my friends went to Bucharest on a weekend trip and came back and said, did you know that Bucharest has the heaviest building in the world, according to the Guinness Book of World Records? And they calculated it based on the materials used in the build. And it actually also, I think, holds the record for 2 of those. So it also holds the record for the most glass or the heaviest amount of glass in a single building or something like that. So it actually holds a ton of different records, one of which being that in total it is apparently the heaviest building they have ever had. And now we know that if we got 10.25 billion megaballs together, we could recreate that building brick by brick or ball by ball or skein by skein, as it would be. That was our second quiz. That was our number guessing quiz. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed learning new stuff. And I have now made one final little trivia quiz for you that I'm going to just go ahead and fire up now. It's always, come on. I feel like it's a little bit lagging every time I put on the overlay. It doesn't immediately put it on my face. There we go. It took a second to restart, but now we're going. So in 20 seconds, we will have our last quiz of the day, but then we will still have the final giveaway at the end where all of you have the same chance, no matter how good you are at guessing, no matter how fast you are at typing, no matter how much you know about everything. And this final quiz is about some new yarns that we've launched recently. The question number 1 is about this yarn, which is called Stevie Doodle. And it's a true or false. Our new yarn, Stevie Doodle, is inspired by our colleagues' pets. Is that true or is that false? 1 true, 2 false. Is our new yarn, Stevie Doodle, inspired by our colleagues' pets? Oh, Jaya's in the chat. Hey, Jaya. I hope you had a good day today. I missed you at the office. Mwah. I am currently asking them about Stevie Doodle. And the basic question is true or false? Was this beautiful new yarn inspired by our colleagues' pets? I can see loads of people guessing in the chat. So Janice on YouTube is saying, I haven't seen Jaya in forever. Yes, Jaya, we haven't seen you in so long. Well, I mean, I have. I saw you this week, but I still miss you. I didn't show the label on purpose because I feel like that would have given the game away, because this is what the label for our new yarn, Stevie Doodle, looks like. It is a kind of golden doodle fur looking yarn. It's made from 100% polyester, and most of you guessed correctly. Yes, it is inspired by our colleagues' pets, both in terms of the name, because our product department actually named it after a golden doodle named Stevie. So one of their team has a golden doodle who's named Stevie, and they looked at that yarn saying, well, that looks like Stevie, so it's called Stevie Doodle because of that. But also, all of the colors of the yarn are named after colleagues' pets. And therefore I now have the question, which one of the following is not a color name for Stevie Doodle? Is it 1, Winnie, 2, Simba, 3, Lulu, or 4, Hugo? Which of these 4 is not a color name for Stevie Doodle? Is it 1, Winnie, 2, Simba, 3, Lulu, 4, Hugo? The other 3 are color names. So the other 3 are color names of Stevie Doodle. One of them is not. Which of these is a pet name that I made up? I mean, I didn't make it up in the sense like that name definitely exists. It's definitely not a made-up name. It's more, one of those is not a color name for this yarn. I'm gonna quickly show you a little close-up of the yarn while we're there. So as you can see, it is super curly whirly with a very golden doodle fur texture. It's a bulky weight yarn, 6 to 7 millimeter hook or needle, and you can machine wash this. And one of the pets that it is named after I actually knew really, really well. He's sadly no longer with us, but this color was named in his honor, and his name was Simba, and he was a super sweet little Chihuahua who had this exact fur color. And Winnie is incorrect. So this is actually color Lulu, and then we have a color named Hugo, and Winnie is an adorable name for a pet, I think. It's just not one of the ones that we named it after. So these are just 2 of the colors. So this is color 7, and which I think, if I remember correctly, is called Lulu. And then this one is color 2, which is Simba, and it matches perfectly to sweet little Simba. The next question is another true or false, and it is again about Stevie Doodle. Stevie Doodle is Hobbie's only boucle yarn. 1, if you think that is true. 2, if you think that is false. Is Stevie Doodle Hobbie's only... I can now see people talking about different pet names, which, oh, so sweet. Is Stevie Doodle Hobbie's only boucle yarn? 1 or 2. I can see some people saying that I got frozen on Facebook. Am I back on Facebook? Can you see me again? I kind of hope you can, because I can't see myself, so I don't know if you can still see me. But people are also answering, so people are still seeing the questions, I hope. You still have 13 seconds to answer, and YouTube seems to be running smoothly. Okay, it seems to be running. I think it may have just been a momentary freeze, hopefully. So this is true or false. Is Stevie Doodle Hobbie's only boucle yarn? Not frozen for me, says Kitty. Okay, then it may have just been for some people. And Ellen says, you never froze for me. How about now? Did you think I was frozen? Probably not, because you could probably see that it was loading above me. Alrighty, so the answer is false. It is not Hobbie's only boucle yarn, because technically speaking, it's not even a boucle yarn. So it's actually a really cool... So boucle yarn is made when you use 2 threads and you vary the tension on them so that they naturally, as you spin them, kind of get a wavy texture. And Stevie Doodle isn't like that. Stevie Doodle is actually just kind of an eyelash yarn that is very curly. We do, however, have a new boucle yarn, which I have right here. But what fibers is this yarn made out of? Is it made from 1, polyester and wool? Is it 2, a mix of polyamide and acrylic? Is it 3, a blend of alpaca and wool? Or is it 4, a purely acrylic yarn? Which blend of fibers is the new Hobbii boucle yarn that we have just launched? I will show you a little close-up. And so this is where you can see what a boucle yarn looks like because as the thread is made, you take 2 plies, and one of them you run through at a higher tension and the other at a lower, and so naturally you get a curled strand. Whereas with Stevie Doodle, you essentially have a curly eyelash yarn, so you still have one non-curled straight thread that runs through, and here it's the thread itself that curls in on itself. But what fibers is this beautiful new boucle yarn made from? It's actually called just boucle. You can find it on the website now. And it is a beautiful, beautiful blend of alpaca and wool. So our new boucle yarn is made from 60% alpaca, 40% wool, so it's 100% animal fiber. It is very, very nice and soft, quite warm, already just kind of squeezing it. Very, very nice. Obviously has that kind of wavy texture, so it's gonna give you a really cool, interesting look. It's 60% alpaca, 40% wool, with a recommended hook or needle size of 4.5 to 5.5. So a really, really nice yarn. And I just saw Paws and Whiskers in the chat saying, I had no idea they had so many new yarns. Well, true or false? In the month of September so far, 10 new yarns have been launched at Hobbii. Is that true or is that false? Have we launched 10 new yarns since the beginning of the month of September? 10 new yarns. Is that true or is that false? I am counting from the day that they were live on the website. Of course, some we got into our warehouse months ago and they weren't launched, but it's been 10 added to the webpage since the beginning of September. Is that true or false? I can see Marjorie being really excited that it's a boucle yarn that is alpaca and wool. It is so lovely, and these colors are so great. I fell in Insta love. So this is color 19, the lovely, lovely green, and this one is color 7, which is called Poppy, which I think looks so cool, and I think these also look really cool together. But were there 10 yarns in total that have been launched since September 1st? So in the first 10 days of September, basically one per day. Is that true or is that false? Oh no, I can now see that I made a mistake in asking the question. I was not specific enough. Well, it doesn't actually matter, because some people are pointing out, well, it doesn't say in total, so if they've launched 11, then that's still 10. And while you are technically correct, it actually doesn't matter, because it was exactly 10 yarns. It's been exactly 10 yarns since September 1st. Stevie Doodle, funnily enough, launched on August 29th, so doesn't actually even count. But all the Schachenmeier yarns I showed you, the Red Regia yarns, all of those were launched this month, as well as our new boucle yarn. So in total, it was exactly 10 yarns since September 1st. So 10 new yarns out on the website now. And I know sometimes if you're not checking the website every day, you will not notice how sometimes a ton of yarns come out at the same time. We have found our final winner. And it is... Oh god, I need to zoom in because I can't read. It's lovely how I now can't read your name. It's Helen? There we are. Why are you not showing me? Can I 1 second. Now I need to figure out how I can go back and see your name. Ah, there we are. It's Haven. Wonderful. I don't know why. It was bugging a little bit. It wasn't showing me your name. It is Haven Predale. I hope that is how it is pronounced. It could, I mean, how else would I pronounce it? Predale? Haven, congratulations. You are, I'm sorry that, I'm sorry. You are our winner. Please send me an email to live@hobbii.com and feel free to include information on how to pronounce your name, because I feel really bad whenever I just sit here and I think, I don't know how that's pronounced. But Haven, congratulations, you are the winner. Please send me an email to live@hobbii.com so I can make sure to send your $25 or equivalent in your currency gift card out to you. And with that, we have actually made it to almost the end of the show. we have one final giveaway, and for this final giveaway, you actually can all participate regardless of your knowledge on any topics, ranging from yarn to the heaviest building in the world, which is the Palace of the Parliament in Bucharest, to any other Victorian fashions. All you have to do now is actually just comment. And you just have to comment hashtag Hobbii quiz the way it is spelled above me right now. So just type hashtag Hobbii quiz the way it is typed above me right here. That is what you want to type in the chat now. You've got 1.5 minutes to do it, or no, you've got 2 minutes to do it. So you've got loads of time, and I'm gonna pull myself up. Now I understand why Matt had 3 cameras set up, because I have a little Stream Deck here that I can switch between the cameras to make it so I don't have to constantly click on the screen, so I can just press a button. And I was wondering why he had 3 cameras set up, but one of them didn't do anything, and it is because this screen is differently shaped than the other game screens, and so that you can, you know. But oh well. I've basically messed his entire setup up. I'm very sorry, Matt, if you're watching. I don't think he is, because I think he is very much enjoying having some time off. But Matt, if you're watching, I apologize for messing with the stream setup. But, you know, you can fix it. I am like a little mischievous little gnome that comes into the studio and just does things and changes things and moves things around when he's gone. I did also tidy. I just want to point that out. It is also very tidy in here. So, you know, I'm not just leaving him a mess. And Cassidy says that Facebook tried to autocorrect her hashtag Hobbii quiz, which you can still type if you want to win a gift card with $25, to Hobbit quiz, which I think is a brilliant idea. The next time I host Quiztime, you can bet your yarns that I am going to make it an entirely Hobbit-themed quiz. And you will think, Louisa, how many ways can you relate the topic of yarn to hobbits? And I will say, just you wait and see. And now I've promised it, so it has to happen. So Hobbit-themed quiz will happen eventually. And we are now running out of time on the giveaway, so if you haven't typed Hobbii quiz, make sure you get that in super, super fast while we find our winner of a gift card worth $25 or equivalent in whichever currency it is that you like to spend. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who is it gonna be? It's Julie Singh. Julie Singh, congratulations. You are our final winner of the night. Well, it's night for me. Well, it's evening for me. Let's be real. Julie, congratulations. You are the final winner. Please send me an email to live@hobbii.com so I can get that gift card to you ASAP, and you can treat yourself to something nice at the value of $25 or equivalent. Julie, congratulations. You are the final winner of the night. And with that, we've come to the end of the show, and it is now my great pleasure to say thank you all for joining me. If this was your first time watching any Hobbii live content, I normally host a show on Tuesdays where we do deep dives on different types of yarn. So normally that's why I showed you a lot of the yarns today, because that's what I'm used to doing. So I usually hold yarns in the camera and tell you how great they are and what you can make with them. And then Matt comes in on Thursdays and usually quizzes you on stuff that I told you about. But so if you want more of this, please join me on Tuesday, same place, same time, for our live shopping. And until then, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. You have a lovely, lovely weekend, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you for joining me today. Au revoir.